Okay, now let's continue. Here below, we have some exercises, as you can see. Underline 6 more passive voice examples in fifth A. Then complete the tweets in 1 to 5 in per se if you agree. Okay, so let's go directly to this one. Here we have some tweets of Pedro, Grumpy Old Man.
Now let's continue. Here we have.
I'm sorry so much, I didn't.
Exercises, as you can see.
I deactivated this one. Okay, let's continue now. Okay, so as I was telling you, here we have the tweets of Pedro, Grumpy Old Man. Yeah, that is the tweets. What do you have to do? We have to complete using these verbs. Where, has been, are being, will be, should be. Okay, so here we are using, of course, also the modal verbs. Okay, maybe yesterday we didn't talk about that. Okay, I'm trying to explain that a bit. Okay, what happened in these cases? So I am going to use my whiteboard. Okay, what happened here? Yesterday we said that for the passive voice, it's really important the verb to be, right? So this is essential in the passive voice, plus past participle. Oh my goodness. Okay, so try to understand my handwriting, okay? So here, this verb to be can be used in all the tenses, in present, past, future, and present continuous, past continuous. And also we can use passive voice with modals, right? For example, if I use should, I have to use with be. If I use can, of course, can go with be. Or must be, right? Might be, and all these modal verbs has to be followed or have to be followed by a past participle of the verb. Participle. For example, I can say, I don't know, I can say. Tarija, for example, I am going to give a suggestion, okay? Tarija should be I don't know what can say, should be, what can I say? Tarija should be declared, let's say. No, should be cleaned. Let's say, right? Only one example. Should be cleaned. Every month, let's say, or every day. Okay, let's put every day. Tarija should be cleaned every day. Tarija debería ser limpiada cada día, let's say, right? That could be an example with modal should be, okay? Or I can say also, this dog can, I don't know what I can say. This dog can be adopted, for example. This dog can be adopted, right? So as you can see here, I am using the modal, the verb to be, plus the past participle. So this is a passive voice of modal verbs, okay? Or I can say also, it must be presented to the principal, let's say. It must be presented to the principal. As you can see here, I am using the modal must plus the verb to be and plus past participle. So as you can see, this is a passive voice also with modal, okay? So in that way, we use these modal verbs. Modal verbs, or I'm sorry, the passive voice can be used with all the tenses and also with modal verbs, okay? So passive voice transform every sentences, every active sentence can be transformed into passive voice. Okay, now let's go back to this one. Any question before going to the exercise? I'm sorry so much for my handwriting, but it's a bit difficult to write here in my tablet. It's not like in the whiteboard with a physical marker. Okay, so it's not the same. Okay, let's continue. Apparently no questions. Okay, what do you have to do? You have to complete the exercise B. So here you have some sentences and you have to complete using these verbs. Where, has been, are being, will be, or should be. Okay, let's go completing, please. You will have 5 minutes to do that. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, what have we did here? Okay, let's go complete the exercise B. Very good. Let's check, okay? So who can read the first one? Any volunteer?
Teacher, ahí podría ser Library Park, wonderful idea. I really think they should be adopted as a model for the rest.
Okay, very good. Library parks, wonderful idea. I really think they should be adopted as a model for the rest of South America. So this is related with the article that we have read yesterday, or with that we read yesterday, right? Okay, what about number 2? Who can read? Any volunteer? Volunteers?
Me, teacher.
Okay, read please.
What do you mean useless? Since 2007, the number of murders has been reduced because of things like that.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so excellent. Now, what about number 3? So here goes number 5, here goes number 2, and what about number 3? Who can read? Any volunteer? No volunteers? Oh. Okay, who participated? ¿Quiénes son las personas que participaron? Give me your last name, please.
Cava,
Okay, who else? Anybody else?
Soto, teacher.
Okay. Okay, number 3, who will read? Oh, nobody?
teach-
Okay.
Me, teacher,
Okay, read, please.
Me, teacher.
can't believe 2 new library parks are being built right now. Kids need good teachers, not huge buildings.
Okay, very good. So this is number 3. Are being, because we are talking about something right now in this moment, right? So can't believe 2 new libraries are being built right now. Kids need good teachers, not huge buildings. Body spending. Okay. What about number 4? Last
Me,
name?
teacher.
Carvalho.
Carvalho. Okay, read please.
Did you hear about the American tourists that were robbed yesterday? Yeah, very safe. Hashtag fail.
Okay, did you hear about the American tourists that were so robbed yesterday? Yeah, very safe, fail. And finally, who wants to read?
Me, teacher.
Okay,
Honestly, I thought the city's invisible wall where no.
here says in the new text, in the next few years.
Will be broken in the next few years. The thing take time, you know.
Okay, yes, very good. So as there says next few years, so that means that it's future, right? So last name, please.
Gomez.
Gomez. Okay, Regina, very good. Okay, now, as you can see, passive voice is really easy. It's easier than reported speech. Okay, reported speech, yes, it's a bit complicated because you have to think in many things. In order to change, you have to focus your attention on the subject, on the object, pronouns, on the verbs, on the tenses, so many things. Passive voice, no, only you have to take into account the change of the verb to be. Okay, now let's go to exercise C. Complete the quotes from 1 to 5 with the verbs in parentheses. Listen to check in groups, choose your favorite, which is the most popular, for example. So here says. Okay, so as you can see here, we have some quotes, okay, of quotes means like phrases or some famous or reflexive phrases we can say, right? This is from by Clint Eastwood, Skinner, Patrick White, Gandhi. For example, here is the quote of Gandhi and Einstein. Okay, so we are going to listen and we are going to choose your favorite. And which of these one do you think is, or do you know that is the most popular? Okay, let's listen. So, okay, let's go with the listening.
Audio 9.8. 1.
They say marriages were made in heaven, but so is thunder and lightning.
2. Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten. 3.
I forget what I was taught. I only remember what I have learned.
4.
The greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated.
5.
Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized.
Okay, I like it that. I think that is my favorite. Okay, let's repeat once more, okay?
Audio 9.8. 1.
They say marriages were made in heaven, but so is thunder and lightning.
2. Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten. 3.
I forget what I was taught. I only remember what I have learned.
4.
The greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated.
5.
Everyone should be respected as an individual, but no one idolized.
Okay, very good. Okay, now we are going to read. What is it? Okay. Number 1, who wants to read? Any volunteer for number 1? How do we complete that?
They say marriages were made in heaven, so is thunder and lightning.
Yes. Okay, very good. In this case, we are going to complete were made in heaven, but so it's a thunder and lightning. Okay. Very good. Number 2, who will read?
Me, teacher.
Okay.
Education is what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten.
Okay, very good. Education is what survives when has been learned, has been forgotten. Okay, very good. Number 3.
Me, teacher.
Okay.
Forget what I was taught. I only remember what I have learned.
I forget what I'm sorry. I forget what I was taught, right? Taught. I only remember what I have learned. Okay, number 4, who will read?
My teacher.
Okay.
The greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated.
Okay, very good. The greatness of nation can be judged. Oh my goodness, it's a bit difficult. So it's very difficult to write here. It's judged in this case. Judged by the way the animals are treated. Finally, everyone
should be.
Should be what?
respected as an individual but not release it.
But not idolize it. But no one idolize it. Okay, so those are some quotes, okay? The famous quote of some people who has something to think, right? Which of this is your favorite? Which of this one is your favorite? Which of these ones? For example, in my case, I really agree with number 5. Everyone should be respected as an individual, but not idolize it. Okay, that is my favorite. I think that all the people deserves respect, but no one deserves to be idolized, right? What about you? What's your favorite?
Number 3.
Number 3. I forget what I was told. I only remember what I have learned. Okay, very good. Excellent. Yeah, that's good too, right? Me olvido lo que me enseñaron y solamente recuerdo lo que he aprendido. Ajá, that's thing. Very interesting. Anybody else? What's your favorite?
For me, is the second.
The second, education what survives when what has been learned has been forgotten. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, who participated? Tell me please, of reading and now giving the opinion. Last names.
Mostajo, teacher.
Mostajo, Brandon, okay. Anybody else?
Lozano.
Ya, Lozano. Nobody else? Okay, go to this part. So, okay, now let's continue with this one. Passive favorites. And so I have to delete this one. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, passive favorites. In pairs, ask and answer full passive voice questions about your favorites. In each square, any coincidence. For example, we're going to make. So here, as you can see, here we have many ideas to make questions about movies, about dish, about goals, perfume, city, devices, celebrities, clothes, book, song, car, drink, right? So what you have to do here is that you have to make questions, okay? Asking about these favorite things. For example, if you want to ask about the movie, you have to talk about the director, right? Directed by, okay? If you want to talk about dish, so you have to focus the question and who was made of, right? If you want to talk about goals, so you have to talk about scores, the perfumes producer, the city invaded, device made by, a celebrity married to, clothes designed by, book written by, song sung by, car built by, and drink made of. Okay, so how you are going to make this kind of question, like this one. This is one example. Who is your favorite device made by? Okay, it's made by LG. It's my phone, right? So as you can see here, they are making questions in passive voice. Okay, who is your favorite device made by? ¿Por quién está hecho tu aparato favorito, dispositivo favorito? It is made, está hecho por LG. It is my phone. Or I can say, for example, who was Harry Potter movie directed by? Okay, who directed the Harry Potter? Who knows? Anybody knows? No? Okay, another, the most famous movie. What was the name of this movie of Jesus Christ? The Passion of Christ, right? Christ Passion, La Pasión de Cristo, no? Okay,
Right.
yes. Okay, who was Christ Passion movie directed by? It was directed by
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Yes, very good. Okay, another one. Okay, this is, this is really famous. Who was a Harry Potter book written by?
J.K. Rowling.
Okay, it was written by
J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling. Yes, it was written by J.K. Rowling. Another one. Who is I don't know, any famous song? I can say. I don't know any famous song. Okay, Waka Waka, let's say. Okay, so who was a Waka Waka song sung by? No. Who was Waka Waka song?
And that was the song for the Mundial was sung by Shakira.
Okay, it was sung by Shakira. Very good. Okay, what else? The clothes, produce, perfume. So we don't know exactly, right? So you have to make that kind of questions, and I ended up doing your questions. So in any case, we are going to make this activity because you are going to talk about somebody. Okay, the common mistakes, okay? Remember that when you use passive voice, it's important to use the past participle, okay? You cannot mix past or the passive voice, the verb to be, with past simple of the verb, okay? So those are the most common mistakes. Remember that past simple with past participle are different, okay? They are not the same. Even though in regular verbs is the same, right? But not, the meaning is not, okay? When you say, for example, ignored, in the past simple, ignoré, and in past participle, ignorado, right? So those are different in meaning. But in maybe if it's the same in spelling, not in the meaning with the regular verbs. Irregular verbs, so they change completely. Last night, a UFO was seen by millions of people, but the story has been ignored by the press. Okay, very good. Now let's continue with the next. Okay, let's go to this page. Okay, where will you be living in 5 years' time? I don't know. Okay, so maybe here in Tarija we continue, or maybe I would like to have a chance to live in another city, or maybe abroad, or I don't know. Okay, where will you be living in 5 years' time? So that is the question, in future, right? Where will you be living in 5 years? We're going to see the future continuous. Creo que vamos a ver aquí el futuro continuo, ¿no? I'm not sure by this. A future continuous and future perfect, I imagine. Yes. Okay, this is the last tense that you are going to see, I think. And what else here? Yeah, but they are easier. Future, okay, until now you only talked about future simple, right? Until now. Hasta el momento los tiempos en futuro vieron solamente los tiempos simples, pero también hay futuro perfecto y también hay un futuro continuo, ¿ok? Y eso lo vamos a desarrollar en la siguiente clase, pero hoy vamos a dar lo que es la introducción a través de estos ejercicios. Because here, as you can see, we have only listening activities. We are going to work only listening. Okay. Where will you be living in 5 years? Maybe I think that I will be living in Tarija. Or maybe I will be living in Chile or USA maybe. So I don't know exactly. Okay. Now let's continue with this. What do you have to do? Okay, in press answer from 1 to 4, listen to part 1 radio show, check your right. Okay, here we have some cartoon, and one cartoon. Okay, so here we have a cartoon, students' loans. Okay, you borrow it, loans means préstamos, right? Student loans. You borrow it $27,000 over the years to study computer science. According to our files, you now owe us $1.83. Okay, the questions are, who and where are the cartoon characters? Characters personajes, right? Guess what happened to the man's debt? What do you imagine will happen next? And will this problem get better or worse in the future? Okay, so you know that in other countries, education is really expensive, especially the upper and undergraduate or postgraduate studies, right? Or university studies. It's not like in Bolivia. In Bolivia, it's really cheap, okay? For example, I am going to give an example in Chile. In Chile, it's really, really expensive, the education, especially the university education, so I can say. The students, in order to pay their studies, they ask a loan, okay, until finishing the university. After finishing the university, they have to start paying all the debt, okay, during the years of the career, right? Once they are professionals, they have to start paying, okay, of course, with the work that they have. There are many people, so I have a friend who lives in Chile, and also I had a student who came from Chile to study in Bolivia, English, okay? She commented me that, for example, an English institute was really expensive for her to pay. That's why she decided to come to Bolivia, because so she has many relatives here in Bolivia. And so she decided to profit the time. She was a teacher and she profited the time to study English in our institute. Okay, so she told us that she was really surprised because the education was really cheap here in Bolivia. And the institute, the courses of English and many other technical careers were really cheap, because in Chile they have to pay large amounts of money, and they are debtors when they start the university. And when they finish their career and they are professional, they have to start paying their debts. Okay, so I think that this is the same. Here is the same. The cartoon is referred to that situation. Okay. Guess what happened to the man's debt? What do you imagine will happen next? Okay, we are going to listen, okay? And then we are going to answer these questions. Listen, please, to this. Because here says that his debt was $27,000. That was the debt. But here says, according to the files, the person only, the debt of this person is only $1.83. So what happened with the rest of the money? Who paid for him, right? Okay, let's listen, please.
Audio 9.9.
They can delete or change computer records, create fraudulent documents, and sell classified information. And there's nothing to stop them from one day saying, I have an idea. Why don't we overheat some nuclear reactors? Welcome to the age of cybercrime. Experts predict that by 2025, cyber attacks will have become, are you ready for this? The world's top threat. With us on set this morning, we have Denise Kaya, author, consultant, and technology guru. He'll be telling us if we should take these warnings seriously. But first, the shocking news about the tragic...
Okay, once more, let's listen. Is it this one? Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Audio 9.9.
They can delete or change computer records, create fraudulent documents, and sell classified information. And there's nothing to stop them from one day saying, I have an idea. Why don't we overheat some nuclear reactors? Welcome to the age of cybercrime. Experts predict that by 2025, cyber attacks will have become, are you ready for this? The world's top threat. With us on set this morning, we have Denise Kaya, author, consultant, and technology guru. He'll be telling us if we should take these warnings seriously. But first, the shocking news about the tragic.
Okay, so who and where are the cartoon characters? No? Okay, I guess what happened to the man's debt? What happened to the man's debt? ¿Qué pasó con la deuda de este hombre?
The most obvious answer is that he hijacked in the system and erased his debt.
Yeah, yes, right. So as you know, and as you can see, and as you listening to, that happened here, right? So nowadays it's a bit dangerous, and I think that you risk a lot when you manage a company and you work virtually, and you receive money virtually, we can say, because they are the famous cyber hackers, you can say, that can delete the information, whatever thing, right? Even though it happened with some platforms of education. Incluso esto sucede con algunas plataformas educativas where students can get into that and they can hack the account and they can delete some grades and they can put the grades that they want, right? So it is a bit complicated. I think that is the negative side of working virtually. Okay, what do you imagine will happen next? What do you imagine will happen next? Here they have some, or they predict something. Experts predict that by 2025, what will happen?
This will become the top threat on the world.
Mm-hmm. Yes, here says that the cyber attacks will become the world's top threat that will also the world will be treated like the cyber attacks, right? With us one this morning with Dennis also consulted. Very good. Next, will this problem get better or worse in the future? So according to the prediction. Will get worse or will get better?
It'll get worse.
Will get worse, yes. Okay, very good. Now let's continue with the next. Listen and complete 1 and 2 with numbers. Okay, here we have 2 sentences and we have to complete with numbers, okay? The radio shows host gives how many examples of cyber crime? And he says it will be the world's biggest problem sometime before when? Okay, let's listen. So.
Audio 9.9.
They can delete or change computer records, create fraudulent documents, and sell classified information. And there's nothing to stop them from one day saying, I have an idea. Why don't we overheat some nuclear reactors? Welcome to the age of cybercrime. Experts predict that by 2025, cyber attacks will have become, are you ready for this? The world's top threat. With us on set this morning, we have Denise Kaya, author, consultant, and technology guru. He'll be telling us if we should take these warnings seriously. But first, the shocking news about the tragic.
Okay, let's listen once more. It is the same, right? Only you have to.
Audio
take the information.
9.9.
They can delete or change computer records, create fraudulent documents, and sell classified information. And there's nothing to stop them from one day saying, I have an idea. Why don't we overheat some nuclear reactors? Welcome to the age of cybercrime. Experts predict that by 2025, cyber attacks will have become, are you ready for this? The world's top threat. With us on set this morning, we have Denise Kaya, author, consultant, and technology guru. He'll be telling us if we should take these warnings seriously. But first, the shocking news about the tragic.
Okay, very good. So the radio show host gives how many examples?
4.
4 examples. And he says it will be the world's biggest problem, score time before
2025.
2025. Okay, very good. Now listen to two parts, how the worried is Denise Kaya. Okay, now we are going to listen to Denise Kaya. So this person is going to talk about the same topic and you are going to identify how worried is she, okay? Or is he, I don't know if it's a woman.
Audio
or if it's a man.
9.10.
Joining us now is Denise Kaya, senior editor of Technology Today, author of Dark Times Ahead, and a regular TWAZ contributor. Denise, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, is it that bad?
No,
Oh, yeah?
it's catastrophic, and it will get much worse.
Really?
I'm afraid so.
Okay, so how worried is Denise? How worried?
A lot.
A lot, right? Because he says that it will be catastrophic. Okay, now using the photos, think of 3 reasons why cybercrime will get worse. Listen to the part 3 and to check any correct guesses. As you can see here, we have 3 photographs. The virus alert, warning tree detected, the malicious idea has been detected. And here we have a boy doing something. And here we have, I don't know, I think that this is the router, right? Apparently it's the router. Okay, we are going to listen and you're going to think of 3 reasons why cybercrime will get worse. Porque el crimen cibernético va a empeorar. Okay, let's listen first. And then we are going to say true, false, true, false, true, false. Okay. This is it.
Audio 9.11.
For starters, there's a new generation of hackers out there, and some are as young as, what, 12, 13?
No way.
Yeah, and they're only kids, you know. But at some point, you have to stop and ask yourself, what's going to happen to these kids? Will they have become big-time criminals by the time they're 20, 25?
Exactly.
Here's another problem. Malware is getting more and more intelligent.
Who's malware? A supervillain or something?
No, that's not a person. Malware refers to all sorts of viruses out there, you know, and some of them are pretty scary. Have you heard of the Reveton virus?
Yeah, the one you activate simply by visiting an infected site.
That's the one. By December 2013, 1 out of 50 computers in New York will have been infected by that thing. Here's what it does. It locks your computer and then it displays a fake FBI message saying you've been caught doing something illegal, like downloading songs or something. So, to unlock your machine,
You're told you must pay a huge fine.
using your credit card. Bingo. But you know what really worries me? More and more attacks will be carried out wirelessly, and we won't be protected. Viruses will spread across multiple devices very, very easily. They'll jump from phone to phone, and then from phone to laptop, and then to tablet.
Over wireless networks.
Exactly. So you might be walking down the street and bang. And you know, there's actually some data suggesting that by the end of the decade, 20% of all world smartphones will have been targeted by cyber criminals. And that's an optimistic estimate.
Wow. But is there anything we can do to protect ourselves?
Yep, there's all sorts of trouble you can avoid by taking a few simple precautions.
Okay. Wording, right? Once more, and then we say true, false, true, false, true, false.
Audio 9.11.
For starters, there's a new generation of hackers out there. And some are as young as, what, 12, 13?
No way.
Yeah, and they're only kids, you know. But at some point, you have to stop and ask yourself, what's going to happen to these kids? Will they have become big-time criminals by the time they're 20, 25?
Exactly.
Here's another problem. Malware is getting more and more intelligent.
Who's malware? A supervillain or something?
No, that's not a person. Malware refers to all sorts of viruses out there, you know, and some of them are pretty scary. Have you heard of the Reviton virus?
Yeah, the one you activate simply by visiting an infected site.
That's the one. By December 2013, 1 out of 50 computers in New York will have been infected by that thing. Here's what it does. It locks your computer, and then it displays a fake FBI message saying you've been caught doing something illegal, like downloading songs or something. So, to unlock your machine,
you're told you must pay a huge fine.
Using your credit card. Bingo. But you know what really worries me? More and more attacks will be carried out wirelessly, and we won't be protected. Viruses will spread across multiple devices very, very easily. They'll jump from phone to phone, and then from phone to laptop, and then to tablet.
Over wireless networks.
Exactly. So you might be walking down the street and bang. And you know, there's actually some data suggesting that by the end of the decade, 20% of all world smartphones will have been targeted by cyber criminals. And that's an optimistic estimate.
Wow. But is there anything we can do to protect ourselves?
Yep. There's all sorts of trouble you can avoid by taking a few simple precautions.
Okay, very good. Okay, now let's say true, false, true, false, true, false. So this listening or this audio is referred to what will happen in the future, right? It talks about the virus that can be spread from phone to phone, from phone to laptop, and from phone to wireless networks, right? So as you can see, and this is referred to the kids. You know that these new generations, they have good skills with technology, right? Because they were born with technology. They were born with technology, and they can use for example, that generation can use the technology better than me, for example, or than my generations. And so what will happen with them, says, right? So it's worrying to think that they can become cyber criminals, right? Okay, let's go to this part. Listen again, true, false, and true, false or not mentioned. O es que no se mencionó. Number 1 says, Denise says teen hackers are criminals. True, false. What is it? True, false, or not mentioned?
They say it will criminals.
It will criminals. So that is false, right? Because it doesn't, it says, it's like it says something in the future, but they are not saying. So I don't know exactly if it's true, false. Okay, we're going to put false in this case. We'll see then. Number 2, the Riveton virus starts when you open a file. True, false?
False is when you open a tab in your navigation.
Okay, are you sure? Okay, then we are going to see. 3, it was created by the FBI. True, false? It was not mentioned, right?
No, it wasn't. It's just make.
It's used, but not created. It's not saying creation. Number 4, future e-devices won't need protection. True, false? What do you think, number 4? No. Number 5, cyber criminals often hack computers for fun.
True.
True. Number 6, currently 20% of all phones are under attack. True, false? %20%, but false because it's in the future, not right now, right? Okay, let's see the answer. What do we have inside? The first was false. The second was false too. Okay, the 3 also was false. So was created by FBI, but didn't mention. Okay, false. Number 4 was false too. Number 5 was not mentioned. And finally was false. Any true. Okay, any answer was true here. It was a bit confusing, this sentence, I admit. Okay, now let's go to exercise F. What time is it? Yeah, we have time, 15 minutes more. Here we have some word symbol like treat, warnings, carried out, spread, and targeted, okay? And here below you have the definitions of those words. What do you have to do? You have to read and you have to match this word symbol with the definition. Okay, for example, here it says a person or thing that could cause serious problems, messages that tell us about a possible danger, to perform or conduct, try to attack someone or something, and to affect more items, to increase, to develop fast. Okay, so you have to match with the definitions. Let's go doing, please. 5 minutes to do that. Okay, let's check. Letter A. Oh, so the first definition. So here it says a person or a thing that could cause serious problems. What is it?
3.
Okay, that is
3.
carried out. Are you sure?
No, 3. Number 1.
Number 1 is
Amenaza.
treat. Okay, number 1 is treat. Treat, that is to perform or to conduct. No, treat. So what does it mean, treat?
Amenaza.
Amenaza. Right, so what is the definition for that word?
A person or thing that
Try to
causes
attack
serious
someone or
problems.
something.
No, exactly. In this case, that could be to try to attack someone or something. That is the definition. Treat, amenazar. Intentar atacar a alguien o algo. Okay, that is treat. What about warnings?
It is messages that tell us about a possible danger.
Danger. Okay, very good. So here we'll go with Okay, so here we'll go with number 1 and here we'll go with number 2. What about carried out?
To perform conduct.
Yes, to perform a conduct. Okay, carried out, llevarse a cabo, desarrollarse. Okay, next, spread. Viruses will spread across multiple devices very, very easily. Spread.
To affect more items.
Okay, to affect more items, to increase, to develop. It's like esparcir, right? Okay, that is number 4. And finally, of course, targeted, a person that can cause serious problems. That is number 5. 20% of all the world smartphones will have been targeted. Okay, very good. Now let's continue with this part. Read the word of English, look at making press how you protect yourself by cyber attacks. Who's more careful? I try to create really difficult passwords. Okay, yeah, so talking about passwords, when you have a lot of accounts, I used to forget my passwords. That is the problem. The word of English, by in 30th most common word in English, it can be used in lots of different ways. Before at point in time, so we can use by 2030. Okay, by can be used in many different ways. Esta palabra by can be used in different ways, okay? Puede introducir muchas cosas diferentes. For example, when we use passive voice, we say by Steve Jobs, by me, by you, so somebody who performed the action, right? And also we can use this one for numbers, okay? For example, before a point in time, that means that before 2030, it's like to use before, okay? Este by también puede usarse como la expresión antes de algún tiempo. For example, by 2030, por los años 2030, se puede decir, o antes del 2030 in this case, printed books will have disappeared. Los libros impresos habrán desaparecido, for example. Okay, and also to say who did the action in passive sentences, justamente lo que les decía, para las oraciones pasivas también utilizamos el by para introducir la persona quien realizó la acción, right? The iPhone was created by Steve Jobs. Next, number 3. To explain how something can be done, you can refresh the page by pressing F8, okay? También para explicar algo que fue hecho, right? For example, you can refresh the page. Ustedes pueden volver a la página by presionando el F5, let's say. Or you can explain this by using this material, let's say. Okay, it's like to say through something. Es como que decir a través de algo que se realiza una acción. Okay, in that way we use these ones too. Okay, my dear students, we have 2 minutes. And the next homework will be for tomorrow is, okay, until now I have only two students who sent me the homework. Solamente 2 estudiantes me enviaron su tarea del passive voice. Ok, solamente tengo 2 capturas de ese práctico que mandé ayer. Ok, I don't know what happened with the rest. And now for tomorrow, the homework will be to record or to report the new. Ok, para mañana la tarea es reportar una noticia. Ok, ¿cómo lo van a hacer? You have to use passive voice y hay que utilizar voz pasiva. So you are going to report a crime news, okay? Una noticia sobre algún crimen, okay? In Bolivia, you can say, or maybe in different countries, so it depends on you. But you have to talk about a type of crime, un tipo de crimen. You can say, you can talk about cybercrime, you can talk about mugging, you can talk about bribery, you can talk about kidnapping, shoplifting. So I don't know, you choose one. And you are going to report what happened, okay? Of course, giving a headline, obviamente dando un encabezado, que generalmente los encabezados van en voz pasiva, okay? Try to use passive voice. How are you going to report that? ¿Cómo me lo van a reportar esto? By using this, okay? By using the, what was my voice spice, right? My Voice Space. You are going to use that application, that app, so that I sent the last class, que yo les envié anteriormente, un link para que ustedes puedan ingresar o para que lo tengan, que les dije que íbamos a usar luego. Okay, you are going to report a new about a type of crime, focusing on the use of passive voice. So you will get into in My Voice Spice, and as I explained it last class, so you have to get into that link that you have in the group of WhatsApp. And let me check. So you are going to only to write My Voice Spice. Oh my goodness. Okay, My Voice Spice in this case. Okay, and you have here the Voice Spice, that is an online recorder, right? And you put only here, okay, record, grabar, right? And you put here más bajo, más alto, so you have to see the volume of your voice. And you start saying what you have to report, okay? Once you finish this one, so you have to stop here. And you will have saying what you have to report. Okay, so here is it, what I recorded. And here you have guardar, right? So you have to save here and you put the author that, let's say that is my name. Here you can come teacher, my news is about shoplifting, let's say. That happening in Tarija, I don't know. Okay, and save. Okay, that is safe. And you are going to generate a link. Okay, here says the enlace of the link. And you put here, and in order to copy this one, okay, so here you have to say do or advances, so, but I prefer to put this one and to copy, okay, copy, and you are going to paste in the group of WhatsApp, or you are going to send me personally, okay? You're going to send me to my WhatsApp and I'm going to hear that. Okay, is it clear? Yes, no? I hope so. Okay, my dear students, that's all for today. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, teacher.
Bye-bye.